Nine Network's coverage of the economy and entrepreneurship in the St. Louis region is supported by the law firm of Polsinelli.
Well, a couple of years ago, anyone outside of it may not have known too much about it. The St. Louis tech and entrepreneurial startup scene. But a lot has changed in the past couple of years. In fact, St. Louis was recently named one of the top tech cities in all of the country. Tonight, we are at the Startup Connection, one of the largest entrepreneurial events of the entire year in St. Louis, to ask the question, is St. Louis on the cusp of an entrepreneurial breakthrough? So stay tuned. Stay Tuned brings together local experts, journalists, civic leaders, and regular people to have tough conversations for a stronger St. Louis. Add your voice to our conversation, and you're at the table as we stay on top of current events and go deeper, bringing more light and less heat to the issues that matter. From the Nine Network of Public Media in Grand Center, this is Stay Tuned. Well, all three floors of Knight Hall at Washington University, they're bustling with excitement here tonight. This is the St. Louis startup scene that you are seeing. Over 70 companies are on exhibit. 1,000, maybe more folks here seeing what the tech scene has to offer in St. Louis, seeing that it's growing fast perhaps, from Square to Instagram. The country, if you listen to people here will tell you, is taking notice. Okay, joining us to talk about all the excitement and everything that's going on here tonight, Ed Domain, host of and executive producer of the Domain Tech Report. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Sure. But first, am I right? Is it growing? Is it growing fast? What is going on behind us?
Yeah, we've got over 1,000 people here in Knight Hall. And when I first moved to St. Louis after winning an Arch grant, I worked in the old T-Rex where the lights were blinking and the wires were hanging down. You thought a monster was going to jump out and chop you up. Now everything's like shiny and new and bright. It's really exciting. It is growing super fast.
Okay, so we're not the only city in America, though, that likes to say that we're a tech hub or an up-and-coming tech hub.
Right.
How does this compare? Everybody in St. Louis is excited about this, at least in the tech world.
Yep.
Are they excited about St. Louis outside of this region, outside of our city?
Yes, and I will say, I like to think some of my friends in Silicon Valley like to keep up with me, but also Washington University, where we're at, has a huge impact in Silicon Valley. So many of their students that we don't keep here end up going out there. Their alumni are aware of what's going on. Gaurav Garg is here tonight. He is the venture capitalist behind Wing. He's a WashU alumni. He invests in companies out there. He's checking out students here. So yes, the outside world is paying attention. And Arch grants, unique in the nation until Kansas City just got it, but that's good for all of Missouri. So yes, I would say absolutely the rest of the country's watching. We're not Silicon Valley, but we are definitely ahead of a lot of other cities.
Arch grants is where you get a non-equity investment of $50,000 to come relocate here and do business in St. Louis. Let's back up for just a second.
Sure.
We can see the energy here. Yeah. What is actually happening here? What's going on here tonight?
So Startup Connection is a conference. It's a yearly event, the biggest one that we have in the community. Like I said, over 1,000 people. I want to say 1,500, but it's a celebration of all things entrepreneur and innovation. You walk around, you see all these dynamic entrepreneurs with their booths set up, showing off what they've done.
Deals made here tonight, or is that
Absolutely.
Not the? That is. Sure. That's part of the act as well.
Gaurav Garg said he's already met a couple of entrepreneurs he's interested in. David Carendish of Answers.com, a great success story, said he met 4 entrepreneurs and he asked them what they were doing. And I said, did they know who you are and did you have the checkbook with you? And he said, no, they didn't know who he was. But so that's a great way for him to easily vet somebody when they don't know how famous he is, and he can approach them later. So I wouldn't be surprised if some deals come out of here tonight.
Okay, you mentioned Washington University. What else? Why is this happening? If it's as good as we like to tell ourselves it is, and let's say that it is, why? What's going on in St. Louis? What have you seen change from the 2 or 3 years ago when you moved from Chicago?
Sure, I got here and I remember when I was standing on the corner of Washington and 7th, and I saw this drunk guy punching a window for no reason, and I was like, well, this is where I'm moving. But then within a couple months, a new restaurant opened up, a wine bar, the MX movie theater. There's a plan now among the entrepreneurial community to get 1,000 new startup companies downtown by 2025. A lot of towns they'll have people fighting over their fiefdoms and they don't all pull together. The regional chamber, the venture capitalists, the entrepreneurs that are becoming successful are all pulling together and are working together to support each other, so you don't see a lot of infighting that some other cities might have. And I think in the next few years, we've already had a few companies get acquired and get bought, but it's been for smaller amounts. We're going to start seeing big dollar amount companies in the next 3-4 years as people make their exits.
So are we bucking the St. Louis tradition? Because I think in a lot of areas people will criticize us for having our own little kingdoms that we protect. Are you saying in the entrepreneur, in the tech world, we're breaking down some of those walls?
I think so, and you know, the people moving downtown are coming from, in some cases outside the country, but definitely outside the state, and they move here for the opportunity. I've met an entrepreneur that moved here from Silicon Valley, met one from Seattle, but when they get here, they expect to have it the way it was in the cities they came from. So downtown's culture is changing very rapidly, and that's spreading out into the city. Entrepreneurs like to be civically engaged, so they get involved in different planting trees, they get involved in volunteering at schools, but they have such a net positive effect on the community. I think that spreads, and even beyond the county in St. Charles, you have the old post office known as OPO Startups. They have a great community thriving out there, so word is really getting around.
Tell us about the Domain Tech Report, the role here, and where we can see it.
Wednesday nights at 10:30, I interview entrepreneurs and innovators in the community, and it repeats on Sunday at noon.
We look forward to the Domain Tech Report Wednesdays at 10:30. Ed Domain, thanks for your time.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, Casey.
Good to see you. Thank you.